So, hello everybody. Welcome to the 17th installment of the Yocto live coding sessions. As you can see, I've got a new logo, I've got a shiny new slide, so I'm being big and professional by now. And I've even received my first fan email last week. So, yeah, I think that's all the housekeeping we have to do for today. Great, you're all around. Um, I think you all know what we're talking about today. It's recipes. I'm a bit short on time on the end, so let's get started right away. Let me find the correct scene. Okay, here it is. I've prepared a little bit. As maybe you remember, I think it was the second or the third session in the original live coding series, where I was talking about recipes and package splitting. I used the lib answer project I've put on GitHub that time, and I'm reusing it. When I was preparing for this very session, I actually realized that libanswer went into GitHub's Arctic Vault, which is like super hilarious because if there is one project that I have ever done that does not deserve to be kept around for future people looking at my code, then it is this, because it's just pointlessly complicated to show off some packaging mechanics. Okay, so let me show you what I've prepared for today. Clear? Okay. Today's layer is being called MetaSync. As you all know, we need. I've even forgot to install MC. As we all know, my layers are always named after some kinds of metal. If there are any problems with sound or readability of the font or colors, please let me know as quick as possible. I won't fix it right away. I think that's unrealistic, but I always try to improve for the next session. And as usual, I happily welcome any kinds of question, comments, insults, praises, and everything you want to tell me. I just don't promise that I will actually answer all questions. If it's something that leads too far away from what we're talking about, then I will probably refer you to the mailing list or IRC. Okay, that's it. What do we have prepared? I do have prepared a layer that holds a distro for us to start around. It's just a proper, just a run-of-the-mill Pocky clone. It pulls in Pocky, and that's it. We will extend that in a bit. And I've prepared a recipe that basically picks off where I have left in session 2. It already depends on Boost. It already depends on BC. So it's lib answer packaged, and I've prepared a trivial image that just includes core image minimal. So that's how we are starting out today. Let's just give it a quick build. But bake sync image and run QEMU As usual, I'm building for QEMU so we can more easily find any cross-compilation issues. No graphic slurp, as usual. Classic. Typo. Mark says it's only 10 a.m. and a bit early for a proper drink. I disagree. It's never too early for a proper drink. Run QEMU. Where did I mess it up? I'm pretty sure that this worked. couple of lines earlier. Okay, probably just a typo in no graphic. Let's just have one short peek into the image, and then we'll start out with a short recap on package splitting. So you can see you name A, we're on Linux QEMU ARM, and cat OS release. There's not even OS release. I forgot that one. Okay, you can see ask is not installed. This is something we will do in GraphPick was spelled wrong. Yeah, and we will package and install that as the next thing. Okay. Well, dang. Power off. Okay. So let's look at meta sync recipes. First, we're gonna add lib image to the lib answer to the image, and we're gonna pack the ask binary that comes with a library as a demonstration vehicle into a separate package. This is the first thing we're gonna do right in the package. If you need a more detailed rundown on the package splitting mechanics that I'm applying here, please look at the first installment of the packaging session. It's already there. Okay, that should be enough. So now let's look at the lib answer recipe. No, lib answer. Okay, this is a pretty classic install recipe as created by DevTool when I pointed it at GitHub. Just as pointed out, it already has boost and BC as dependencies, and we're gonna add packages equals plus, so it gets prepended package name. We derive the package name from the actual recipe name. We're gonna call it lib answer ask as already noticed, and its files it's like this: files pn ask, and there we will use bindir ask. I just happen to know that it's in there. As again, the longer version is in the first installment. Okay, I think that's enough. Let's bitbake lib answer. Let's see if I mistyped somewhere. Oh, that looks good. The caches are all hot, which is a good thing. Okay, bitbake sync image and run QEMU again, and then hopefully all the things are run. We're going to take an additional look at OE package data util that was mentioned in today's IRC discussions concerning inspection of packages. So we're going to have a short look there. Let me look at IRC, if I can pester somebody. Actually, I cannot. How boring. If you want to install all packages in recipe, yes. And that actually does not make any sense at all, because it also pulls in -doc, -debug, -dev, which you usually do really not want in your image. So if you want to do that, then you are probably doing it wrong. Thanks for the question, by the way. When I'm doing live presentations, I usually throw chocolates at the audience for interaction with me, and that was a really good question. That would deserve 2 chocolates to be thrown at you. Mark, do we have any funny emojis or icons that we can give to GV Kyra? Mark is my wingman in the background, and he's taking care of all the funny things on which I actually don't have a clue of. Okay, is ask around? Ask is around. And which ask, just for sake of knowing, ask is in user bin. Yeah, Mark has something. I knew it. Okay, you can see the answer is 42. As we all know, we're proper nerds here. And now let's take a short look at the code, because I tuned it a bit. So, where is the actual, okay, there is answer CPP. And now you can see that boost has been made configurable. So we can now in some way start using boost, and we will be notified about it. And there is a facility to have verbose output, which shows us the string that will be piped into BC. As I've pointed out, the code is just needlessly stupid. It would be enough if I had a main printf if I wanted the output, but we're showing off mechanics and not proper coding style here. So part 1. Now let's look at Cmake. Cmake has two options. It has with verbose and it has with boost. If I pass with boost, then I can somebody has chocolates. Okay, that's a good one, Mark. Thank you very much. I shall bring you beer if we meet ever again in person. Okay, if we add with boost equals on, then Cmake will pass use boost, so the define in the source code triggers. That's the one. And if we add with verbose equals on, then it will add the define verbose output, which will again trigger the output of the BC string. And both are options here. So now these are meant as examples for something that is configurable per package and per system, because I might want to define if a specific package can use another library. A prime example of this is using OpenSSL, for example. You can have a simple embedded HTTP web server which can support HTTPS and therefore use OpenSSL or a compatible library, which you would probably pass in through configure. Or it can not support it, be smaller, throw away all the unused code, and therefore disable it. Then actually also not need the dependency during build. And this is exactly what package configs are meant for. So here we go. Let's write our very first package config. Hopefully I get the syntax right first time. I doubt it, but hey, we will see. Okay, you can see boost is a dependency here. We will be getting rid of this. So package configs. So we can override it from somewhere else. We can set the font with boost. We call that one boost. And now we have to define the actual package. First typo already. Package config setting for that specific boost package config. And here I refer you to the dev manual, where the syntax of package config is actually properly laid out. And I hopefully get it right now. If we want to pass, so the first argument is what to pass if the package config is enabled. The second argument is what to pass if the package config is not enabled. The third argument is something to add to depends if the package if the config is enabled. And the fourth argument is is what to pass as runtime dependency if the argument if the package config is enabled. So let's see if we get this straight. D with boost equals on is the first one. D with boost off. Mark, don't give away my secret tricks, okay? Then boost is a compile time dependency here. None, none. And I missed something. I am absolutely sure that I missed something, but we will see. So let's see if that actually builds. Dang. You know, Mark, it's about the line of explanations. Leading space? No leading space problem. Bake lib answer. Let's see. I'm pretty sure I got the syntax wrong. I always get the syntax wrong. No? Ah, looks good. Okay, as I said, caches are all hot. Boost was added to the default package config, and hopefully it was pulled in now. Okay, it gets repackaged, so that means there was actually some kind of change. By the way, Mark, why do you have a snowflake in front of your name? Is it snowing there? I know the boots are annoying. I could try and sing something, but I'm pretty sure you wouldn't want to hear it. Okay, ask, and I got it wrong because I had passed boost as default package config, so therefore I would have expected to boost to be showing up here. Okay, let me just have a small peek into my notes. And if I don't find it immediately, then I will look into the prepared package config variable. Okay. Probably it's not package config. Okay, it's package config. And nothing else. Okay. I think it's package config here. No leading space problem, and we should also be allowed to get rid of this here. Okay. Oh, Mark has got a beer emoji. Okay, that's great. If I ever should get some kind of proper state on Twitch, which I heavily doubt, for lack of streaming time, then I shall have a beer emoji too. Yeah, no S. And for the question why I'm drinking water, I usually have a beer after the first achievement, and the first achievement will be that ask shows us using boost, and when it's using boost, then we have done the first thing, and then we're happy little coders, and then we can have a beer. I think we actually have quite a nice crowd today. Once we're in the next boot, we are using boost. Achievement unlocked. Time for a beer. I told you. So now we're getting back to what Mark just mentioned. The initial thing I wanted to tell you um, is the functioning of the package config. But you have already seen if package config for that specific recipe does not contain the keyword that names the package config, which is in our case boost, then the off thing is added to the configuration, and if it is set, then um, it is added, the dependency is added, and boost is being pulled in. Okay, cheers. And now we're coming back to what Mark just said. Power off. This is the recipe. Due to the question equals the weak assignment, we have defined the default configuration, the default package configuration for this specific build. We do not want boost to be a default dependency here. But as we happen to have our own distro, conf, distro, give me distro, sync. Okay, and that's where where the distro that Mark just mentioned comes in. The distro basically defines the API that the user of your image can expect, and therefore this is a hilarious example. But take again the HTTP versus HTTPS example. The distro would define, okay, the server has to support HTTPS, and therefore it would work like that. Package config pn libanswer now we can equals, or we can append if we have a derived distro, which we are not doing today, but we could like stack on top of so we actually stack on top of Pocky, but Pocky knows nothing about libanswer. So we want to have libanswer using boost, although it's disabled by default. The distro can set the policy that the user sees, and using boost or some kind of configuration is policy. Another try. Okay, and there's a build coming up. So here's a short poll for those who are listening and ready to interact. This was the first session or is the first session that I actually did announce on YouTube or Instagram. And therefore I have a small favor to ask. If there is somebody around today which was actually like announced or attracted by this means, can you please let me know? I have had numerous reports of people telling me, wow, I missed your live coding session again. I have no idea where it was announced. So I am announcing on Twitter, on Instagram, on YouTube, and on LinkedIn this times. And if I just would like some feedback if that works properly. The question is, why do we have to prepend lib answer with pn? Yeah, that's the syntax for configuration files. You know, a configuration file is global. Everything you do in a configuration file is visible everywhere in the build. And so I do not have a proper explanation why the syntax was chosen that way. But the syntax is variable name underscore pn dash, and then the package name that you actually want to modify. Okay, Mark answered it, and Mark knows it way better than me because he was already around when that was defined, I am sure. Okay, let me just have a small. If there's a policy in a BB, use boost, and also in a configuration file, both with an equals assignment. I think the recipe will win, but you can easily inspect with bitbake minus e and then look at the evaluation log. If you look at the top output of bitbake e, then you can see that the configuration files are all parsed first, and then the recipes are applied. So there's a whole history. I'm pretty sure that the last assignment in the recipe takes precedence, but you can easily verify that. Okay, here we go. Just as promised, distro sets libanswer shall use boost, and it does. So this is an example of a distro setting a policy for a specific package. You realize that I'm talking and doing real quick today because, as I said, I'm a bit short on time in the end. But yeah, if we have covered everything that I've prepared, then we can also have a small chat. But I really want to. Okay, Napster was announced through Discord. Yeah, also announced on Discord. Yeah, for those who are just watching this on as a recording later, or are I gotta untangle my tongue, or are around with us live today. I've just started a Discord instance for German speakers. Also, Servus beieinander, schön, dass ihr alle da seid, wie man bei uns sagt. This is basically an experiment to see if we can have more reach if we provide localized content. So I really invite everybody to just like go out and get in touch with everybody you know, and if it's just like answering beginner questions and discussing things you have run into, well, that's a good thing. Okay, back to the topic. Using Boost for that package was a policy that makes sense for the distribution to define on a per recipe basis. There are other policies that make sense to define system-wide. There's a classic question in support: how can I make a debug image? If I want to if I build foobar image debug, then I want this and this and this package to add debug symbols. And the classic answer is no, you cannot do this, because feel free to chant along with me. Configuration data is global, recipe data is local. So, as an image is also just a recipe, it cannot affect what other recipes do. It cannot, sorry, it's the beer. An image recipe cannot instruct other images, cannot instruct other recipes to react to it. A distro can do that. So my usual advice is create a debug distro. And this is what we will do next. You can add and define debug features at will. There is no hard-coded list of keywords that you can put in there or have to leave out. Therefore, we can just do whatever we want. And here we go. We are gonna add distro features append is my debug. Now, this will be visible throughout the whole build. All of the whole build can look at distro features if there is my debug set in there, and if it's there, it can do something. And here comes the magic. I primarily explained that using with verbose is an argument to Cmake. I'm using Cmake here because I'm usually using Cmake. other build systems are really, really similar. Yep, Mark added the explanation on recipe scope. So if I want to have this verbose output, then I need to pass it to Cmake. And hopefully, really hopefully, I get this straight now. Evaluation of bb util contains. So we are expanding a variable here that actually goes into a bitbake function. One that goes into a Python function, one that is provided by bitbake by default. bbUtil is the utility class that bitbake injects into the scope of all recipes, and there is a function that is called contains that we can look at here. And what are we looking? I will link to the reference in a second if nobody does earlier. So we are going to look at distro features. We are looking for my debug. If it is there, we want to use d with verbose equals on. And if it is not there, d with verbose equals off. And then we also have to pass the data storage. This is for scoping reasons as far as I know. Okay. Let's just give it a try. Bitbake lib answer and instant typo. Lib answer. Ah, I'm still in QEMU. Root at something. So, bitbake lib answer. Yeah, I was faster than you. I am living in your future. It's that 1 hour in the moment where I'm living in 1 hour in the month where I'm living in somebody else's future. That's an incredible feeling, I tell you. So let's see if that actually works out. And we can we are doing really quick, it seems. So we can also have a small peek into bitbake E of libanswer and also look at package config evaluation as it was discussed. Okay, there was no syntax error already, which is good. That means I might have actually done it right, which is surprising. I usually mess up way more. I am a very polite person. Let me try to pronounce your name. Cope Quid. That makes me feel like you have tentacles. That reminds me of a giant squid. Hope you're not offended, but when I read that, Nick, there's a picture in my brain that is like you with tentacles. That might actually be caused by the fact that I'm just reading some Lovecraft-based novels at the moment. So don't take my rambles too personally. Okay, so I was distracted. That was the Call of Cthulhu. So ask, and I failed. Okay, I really would have expected to see the debug output here now. So let's see where I went wrong. What is the with verbose? Okay, that was correct. D with verbose on, D with verbose off, and there was, well, I wonder why that ever worked. It cannot have worked. That really should have been a parse error. Probably it just didn't save. Power off. But actually, great to have you around, Quid and GV Kara. I have no idea who you are, but I know I have never read your nicknames. So you're probably new in the stream. Welcome everybody who is around. Okay, now finally my first proper error. I already missed it. So let's see where the reference is. I had it ready. I'll put it here into the chat. This is the real comment on contains. And then I will have to see if I went wrong. Some variables, check value, true value, false value, and the data store. Okay, that looks good. And then we have to look. Missing S in BBUtils, I'm being told. What? Oh, thanks, Quentin. Let's see. I know Napster. It's extra OE Cmake because I'm using Cmake. So if you're working on a Makefile-based recipe, then it's extra OE Cmake, and then it's extra OE Make. And if you're in a Cmake-based recipe which has inherit Cmake above, then it's extra OE Cmake. But good catch, really. You're from South Korea, and it's 1:30 a.m. here. Um, really, I'm super thankful for feedback like this. So if you would just like shoot me a mail with your time zone and the slots that usually work well for people in your area, I'm sure we can find and make up something special, especially just for you. Um, it's just hard for us to understand where people are and what they expect when I'm just like doing this. So wherever you are, if you have problems like joining me for time zone reasons, for organizational reasons, or whatever, please let us know. The Yocto advocacy team is really thankful or for all kinds of input that tells us how we can reach out, because most of us are like America and US, America and Europe based, so we tend to think in our own worlds. But you really have to just like tell us or ask for how we can get in touch with you, and we will really try to do that. Okay? So great. Thanks for being with me. Okay, now back to the topic. Bitbag sync image. Um, Last build, hopefully. And then if we see the debug output, then I'm through with my topic. This is basically what I pack into all my custom recipes or payload recipes for project images that I have. If I want to have my developer debug image, I just like add one line into the distro, and all the shenanigans that give me additional output just like go on in one time. And here it is. We have just built a debug distro. Skull. Okay. As I have already pointed out, I think I will end early a bit today. I will give it another couple of minutes for people to um, ask additional things, remarks, insult me, praise me, throw money. That's all fine, and then I'll probably just be gone until December. December session is already decided. It will be on multi-configs. I've seen so much demand and use cases for it in the last months that I've decided multi-configs deserve a proper session on their own to explain the concepts behind it. I still have to work out the line of explanation that I probably am going to follow, but that's already decided. And that one will probably also be a longer session than Mark is working on multi-config right now. Didn't you want to rename it to system? What was I saying? The system is always one level up from the topic you are just working on, or one level down. I know that you or Bruce had a saying at Lyon, but I just like forgot it. It was a very good one. Therefore, like power off here. As usual, the the layer will go on GitHub and the companion web page. System is the no. I'm not Mark. I'm not talking about your definition of multi-config, but about the saying. Doesn't matter. I'm just getting drunk, which is a good thing. The layer will be on GitHub and maybe go into the Arctic Vault too, which is just like hilarious. I mean, I've done a couple of good things probably to the world of open source and documentation, which did not go into the eternal ice for future of mankind. But libanswer is really of no use to anybody. It's just like it's stupidly complicated for no good reason. So there have been no further remarks. Then any questions on what we have done? I wanted to point out our package util. I think that's a good one for the ending. OI package data util. You can see there's a lot of funny things. And for example, I've just like used that image, and now I want what package provided a specific thing or a specific file, and therefore we're gonna do OI package data util find path user bin ask, and it's libanswer ask. On the other way, OI package data package data util list package files libanswer. You can see libanswer actually just pulls in the library. Libanswer ask pulls in the helper binary. And to do the full round of discussions on installing all things from a recipe, package this package, you can see there's a lot of stuff going on. And there, for example, if you would really install every package from a recipe, let's just like look at clib. you would get clip, clip debug, clip dev, clip doc, clip ptest, which is of totally no use in a production image and not even in a debug image. It's a test. You would get clip, the source, and the static dev. So you can see that's what I meant with like magically globbing a whole recipe is if you have a use case for that, then your use case is in itself broken. Then you have to rethink what you are actually doing in packaging. That's my belief. Mark says, "Oh, a package that util is somewhat new." No, not at all. I think it has been around since at least Warrior, maybe even Thud. It's really not new. OE package data util has been around for quite some time. What is really new is OE package data browser, which I cannot show you because it would require a browser to have access to a port on the on the development host, and the development host in that case is an EC Square instance. So it would require me to have some port forwarding magic and whatever, which I just am not gonna do. So Mark, maybe you've confused OE package data util and OE package data browser. Browser has been added rather recently by Peter. Okay, and with that, I think that's it for today. Thanks so much everybody for being around. I think we've had the largest crowd ever in one of those sessions. I think it has been the first time ever that I have spoken live to a person in South Korea. So thanks a lot, GB Cairo, for having me. And I say see you all sometimes around Christmas, and we'll be talking about multi-config. Everybody, here's the thanks for watching, and as you all know, some final marketing, and just follow me and throw money. That's it. And stay safe, stay sane, and have fun coding.